540 WAUK, Milwaukee's real news and great conversation. And now on your FM dial at 100.3. Here's your Daily News Roundup.
With local news on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. Milwaukee is spending $1.5 million to give teens safe places to go at night this summer and to help prevent violence. The new Safe Summer Nights will offer evening drop-in locations with food, activities, and adult mentors for young people ages 12 to 20. Leaders say the goal is to keep kids engaged during hours when problems are more likely. The effort brings together schools, health systems, and local agencies as part of a broader safety strategy. Sites are expected to run 6 nights a week, with more details coming soon. The lake will be alive today. Dangerous swimming conditions are expected at all Lake Michigan beaches this afternoon and this evening. The National Weather Service has issued a beach hazard statement for southeast Wisconsin, warning of strong winds and waves as high as 7 feet. Officials say swimmers should stay out of the water and avoid the north sides of piers and breakwalls. The highest risk is from Milwaukee down through Racine and Kenosha. People in Milwaukee will get a chance tomorrow to weigh in on a major redevelopment plan at the Midtown Center site. A public meeting is set for 5:30 at the former Walmart on West Hope Avenue. The proposal could bring a new library branch, housing, and what has been described as a small data center to the area. The developer says it's not a data center, but computers for research. City leaders and developers will be there to answer questions and hear feedback. Starting tomorrow, the Milwaukee area will host part of one of the country's biggest cycling events. The Tour of America's Dairyland runs for 11 days with races in Oak Creek, Milwaukee, Shorewood, and Wauwatosa, plus other stops in Racine and Kenosha. Each day features a different course and draws elite and amateur riders from across the globe. Streets along the routes will close, but spectators can watch for free as cyclists loop through the same course multiple times. Organizers say it's a mix of top-level racing and neighborhood celebrations. And that's the local update. It's all news all morning, 6 to 9 on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM. News anytime at WAUKradio.com. I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
For Civic Media News, I'm Connie Fellman. A new report is suggesting use of force by Madison police led to a man's death in 2024. The department's interim independent police monitor released findings from the encounter this week after the man's mother had filed a complaint. The report found 32-year-old Richard Johnson's death was caused by, quote, restraint, cardiac arrest, and not an overdose of drugs as reported by the medical examiner. The report noted details being left out of the police report by officers who were involved with the in-custody death. 3 men connected to Donald Trump's 2020 campaign are now pleading not guilty in the Wisconsin fake elector case. Attorney Jim Trupis, along with Kenneth Cheesebro and Michael Roman, entered those pleas yesterday to 11 felony counts. The judge also laid out the timetable for motions that could shift the trial out of Dane County and challenge one of the charges. Fewer students but more staff could mean higher costs for Wisconsin schools and possibly more local referendums. A Wisconsin State Journal report shows statewide student enrollment is down more than 9%, while overall staffing is up about 7%. Much of that growth is in support roles like aides and paraprofessionals. That's said to be driven by rising mental health needs, more students with disabilities, and more English learners. Analysts say the trend could put pressure on school budgets as enrollment keeps falling. More support is on the way for Wisconsin's meat processors with new state grants aimed at helping local businesses grow and modernize. The Department of Agriculture says 18 processors will share $700,000 through the Meat Processor Infrastructure Grant Program. The funding will help companies upgrade equipment, expand facilities, and increase production. State leaders say the goal is to strengthen the food supply chain and support farmers across Wisconsin. 3 men connected to Donald Trump's 2020 campaign are now pleading not guilty in the Wisconsin fake elector case. Attorney Jim Trupis, along with Kenneth Cheesebro and Michael Roman, entered those pleas yesterday to 11 felony counts. The judge also laid out the timetable for motions that could shift the trial out of Dane County and challenge one of the charges. Trupis says the county's politics and heavy publicity make a fair trial unlikely, while prosecutors have not agreed with that view. A legal battle over voter information in Wisconsin could move fast as federal officials ask for an expedited appeal. The Justice Department wants access to detailed voter records, saying it's needed to ensure election security. A federal judge previously blocked that request, siding with concerns about privacy and state control. Advocacy groups are also opposing the move. The appeals court is now weighing whether to fast-track the case ahead of the state's primary. A new statewide housing plan aims to make it easier to build affordable homes in Wisconsin. Governor Tony Evers and housing officials say the update boosts tax credit amounts, adjusts funding rules, and encourages projects across more areas. The program helps developers by offering tax breaks in exchange for setting aside units for lower-income renters. Leaders say more than 61,000 units have been built or improved through similar efforts over the years. They say the changes are meant to keep up with rising costs and growing demand. Strawberry season has begun amid another year of challenging weather. Farmers say late spring frosts and recent rainfall threatened crops statewide, with some reporting damage from winter injury and other related issues. Despite the challenges, farms are welcoming customers for strawberry picking and fresh berry sales. Growers are also encouraging residents to support local farms as they hope for a harvest season lasting closer to the typical 2 to 3 weeks. And that's your state update. I'm Connie Fellman for Civic Media News.
Cooper Pratt makes his debut. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, 21-year-old Cooper Pratt got his first start last night at shortstop as the Brewers beat the Guardians 2-1 at AmFam Field. He made contact but went 0 for 3. Made a couple of plays in the field. I asked him what was his first game in the big leagues like.
It was exciting. I mean, obviously I didn't get my first knock or anything like that, but we won. Vibes were fantastic. Heart was rushing the first at bat and the first time I ran out there, but it was surreal. And then especially when McGill came in and all the lights flicked off. That was pretty cool.
Brewers pitcher Robert Gatzer on Pratt.
He's my locker mate in Nashville, so got to know him very well there. And I'm just really excited for him. He's a great player and a great person, so I know he's going to contribute to this team.
NFL in Green Bay, rookie defensive lineman denied Dennis Sutton on what's the Packers defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon like.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of JG. I like his energy when it comes to this. Like, he's purposeful in everything he does.
That's the Packers denied Dennis Sutton. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Hi, meteorologist Brandon Bormans. Grab the umbrella. Showers a certainty today, possibly a thunderstorm or two as well. Highs only in the low to mid-60s. Showers and a few storms to continue tonight, mainly during the evening hours. Lows in the mid-50s. Mostly sunny Thursday. Highs lower 70s.
That's your Milwaukee News Roundup from WAUK. Find more news anytime at waukradio.com/news. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.